Greetings and salutations, this is HUGH JARSZ, and today I'm joined by two of my favourite creators, FTFE and Planawalk. G'day guys, how are you?
Ahoy hoy.
Have you got someone else on apart from us then? Like, or, wait, we're your favourite creators? You've got low standards, man.
Well, I've got lots of favourite creators, but you two are two of my favourites because, well, both of you have helped me in a lot of ways getting to this point. And
you're a lot of fun to listen to.
Oh, I'm glad you think so. That's really awesome. Thank you. All right. So today we're going to have a look at some stupid, and StreamYards is easier than OBS, but sometimes it's a little bit clunky. So yeah, first thing I want to talk about is monetization. I want to say a big thank you to all my viewers who got me over the 4,000 hours. And so now I'm monetized, and if you should be seeing that, actually I haven't looked at the live stream yet. Let's, oops. You should see a super chat button there, and also you can be become a member. Like, oh god, this is
words are hard, huh?
Yes, words are hard. I'm just being distracted by a couple of things. Sorry about that. Yes, you can become a member if you want to for $3.99 Australian a month, even less in real money. I want to thank Dora and Koo and Daryl M for being my first two members. I've already got two members, so how awesome is that? Yes, and Dora in particular, I certainly appreciate Daryl M, but Dora in particular has been a supporter of mine since day one. So I'm really pleased that she's my very first channel member. That's awesome. There will be some emojis. There's already a word salad cream emoji as well as a HUGH JARSZ one. There'll be a corgi one soon. I just haven't gotten around to doing it yet, and probably a couple of others. If you have some suggestions, can you please go to my community page and leave them there? Oh, Global Mum's joined. Thank you, Global Mum. Oh, hang on. I just clicked unmute, unfortunately, on the stream. And I've just noticed that Marty the Mad Scientist for $5 Canadian is my very first super chatter. Thank you, Marty. Wow, that's awesome. Now I've got to figure out this super chat screen, and because that wasn't there before, and nothing is coming up.
That's what she said.
Oh, Alien X Gaming has done one too for US $2. Thank you, mate. Just the tip. Yes, that's an Archer reference. I don't know if that's being broadcast, is it? Oh God, I don't know. I'm getting confused by all of them. Oh my God, they're coming everywhere. Marty the Mad Scientist is a new member. Thank you, Marty. Oh, it's all happening at once.
Did you just say, oh, they're coming everywhere? What are you watching?
Yes, phrasing, yes. We got to do the Archer reference, that's for sure. All right, so hopefully that calms down just for a sec. I very much appreciate all of that. I'm not monetized to make a living like others might be. I had a chat to Wolfie6020 about this. He's got roughly 70,000 subscribers and is not monetized because to him, it wouldn't make a lot of difference. And it's all about the argument. He doesn't want the money to get in the way. In my case, I've been a contributor to many different creators. And I believe, because we're effectively getting this for free, that I should make a contribution to them. I've obviously contributed to FTFE and Planawalk in particular, both in super chats and as a Patreon. And I think, it takes a lot of work to put these videos together. And I like to express my appreciation for that. And so if people wanted to give me super chats or become members, I'm going to give them the opportunity to do that. That's their choice, not mine. I'm very grateful for everyone that does that. And what I'm hoping to do is use the money to help me make better videos, whether it be software. I'm hoping to eventually get a telescope set up like Wolfie has. My ultimate goal is to be able to track the ISS as it comes over and zoom in on it so that we can see that it's actually not just a light in the sky, and go out and film the Southern Cross. There'll be the GOSH experiment coming up in June, where we'll get people in South America, South Africa, and Western Australia to film the Southern Stars at the same time and prove once and for all it's a globe.
Impossible. Don't lie to me.
Yes.
Come on.
Well, I've already got people lined up. So last year I was a bit new and it was a bit harder to get people. But now, not only have I got people lined up, I figured out the technology to be able to live stream it all. So it's just a matter of people on this.
You do know that stars are just lights in the firmament, right?
That's what they tell us.
Well, and you do know that Australia doesn't exist, right?
Australia doesn't exist.
Yeah.
No, that's why I live
Plus,
here. That's all.
We all know your telescope just has a NASA program chip to show you what you want it to see.
That's right. I forgot about that. Damn.
Yeah.
I won't be able to prove anything. Oh, well.
No. Well, I mean, it'll tell you the same things as NASA see because that's what it's programmed to do. It's amazing these days that you can program lenses. I know.
But is that the chip in you telling me that, or is that you telling me that?
Yeah, I'm not in control of my body at all. I've been controlled by a NASA agent for about 1.5 years.
Oh, yep. All right, then. Theo Fungi's a new member. Thank you, Theo. Sorry, I just got distracted by something that shouldn't have been there. And that's, yes, that's going to be part of the course. It's really professional where I am. All right. Craig, tell us a little bit about what you've been up to lately.
Well, today I had a very interesting day because I joined a podcast that Conspiracy Cat and Ranty are doing together. I know that the world is colliding. The universe is going to explode because a flat earther and a globe earther have started a channel and a podcast together. Ranty is kind of, even though he's still a flat earther, he's like, look, I'm stepping away from it. I don't care about the argument anymore. I just want to move on with my life. And him and Conspiracy Cats have started a podcast called Almost Unbelievable, where they have people on to talk about supernatural experiences and what the possible scientific explanation behind it can be. And frankly, I think Cats and Ranty are one of the best duos on the internet. It's insane. I went on there today to tell about a strange experience I had when I was a lot younger. So if you guys aren't subscribed to the Almost Unbelievable channel, then have a look at that. And I'll be coming up on there soon with a chat with Ranty and Cats, which was surreal, considering I've debated Ranty a few times. It was pretty weird to have, being in that kind of friendly conversation with him, not talking about flat Earth. And it was weird. Apart
He's not
from
a bad
that,
bloke when you talk to him like that, is he?
No, he's not. I mean, if there's any flat earther I'd have a beer with, it's probably Ranty, So yeah, that's interesting. I've also on Sunday is starting my new show, Stupidity is Not a Right, which is a panel type game show along the veins of Never Mind the Buzzcocks, 8 out of 10 Cats, that kind of thing. Team captains Red Rhetoric and Brainy Beaver, each gonna have 2 guests on each week, and we're gonna have questions and laughs about stupid flat earth stuff. Look out for that on Sunday. So that's what I've been doing.
All right. And Planawalk's just released a video this morning. I'm sure he's been up to a few other things. What have you been up to, mate?
So I've mostly been working on the video. Although, actually, the video that I released this morning was actually meant to be released yesterday morning, but I got the date wrong that I was supposed to put it out on. So that's why it was released this morning and not yesterday morning. But yeah, I've been looking. There's one video that I've got in the works, and it's a video on astrology, because there's a video that I made on Simon Dan's channel quite a while back about astrology, and I sometimes will go and check the comments because that gets a lot more comments than any of my videos ever will. And
tell me about it. I made a video of Simon Dan. It got 1.2 million views, and I'm like, I could have done with that on my channel, but whatever.
Give money for Simon Dan, yeah, but he brings subs to you as well, of course. So
yeah, I know. That's why me and Planawalk don't mind doing it, because it's a payoff for us either way.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Planawalk.
Well, to be fair, like there are some videos that, because I know they'll do well regardless of whether they're on my channel, it's like I know I'm putting that one on my channel regardless of whoever asked me to put it on their channel. But when it comes to that video, one person in the comments said astrology is real science, and linked to a video talking about talking about responding to Bill Nye, and Bill Nye saying something about that 13th zodiac sign, saying basically this guy was saying that the 13th zodiac sign is just fake, and no,
so the rest are real.
He's saying that no astrologer would take it seriously, and it's just one of them things where it's there's so much to talk about. Like, although to be fair, a lot of it is just person repeating the same thing. So even though it's a 20-minute video, I'll be able to probably cut it right down to the core premises of it. So yeah, that's going to be a fun video.
Okay, good. All your videos are fun.
Well, thank you.
It's good to see my money in action, actually, as a Patreon supporter. All right, cool. So yes, you mentioned science earlier. It's funny how they all the nutters seem to have a completely different idea of what science is and compared to actual scientists.
They've got their own science. That's the thing, right? They've all got their own science. And one thing I've noticed lately is the way that the flat earthers to always, instead of just science, they've got to say natural science. They're trying to make a point, even though science is, all science is natural because it's, based on the natural world. It's like they're trying to make some stupid point. Yeah, but no, it's their own special science. It's got to be natural science. Idiots. Well,
I refer to it as RE science, rectally extracted science, because that pretty much sums up what sort of science they then present after they say, "Oh, you got to do real science," And one of the idiots who always says you got to do real science is Daniel Pratt, who has been in a flurry this week, triggered very much by Irish Demon, who is asleep right now, but very much a friend of this channel. And yes, I don't really want to play any Daniel Pratt videos because, as we were talking before the stream, he's just pathetic and he's just horrible. It's not even a funny crazy like other people are. He's just a nutter, and there's no other word for it.
I saw a video by him, right, and he's saying he said how someone. Basically saying if you don't like this channel, then don't watch it, right? And I'm just thinking, I was the YouTube algorithm literally recommended me a Daniel Pratt video.
That's sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
What have you been watching to reflect that on yourself?
Oh, yeah. What is your internet search history like, dude?
I'm not revealing that.
Well, at least you're not getting dildo recommendations or anything, so...
Wow.
Wait, you don't get those?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, I don't know why I do.
All right. So, but speaking of Daniel Pratt, part of the meme about the way we perceive Daniel Pratt is he's down there in his garage. It's not his basement. It's his garage with his water heater. And I reckon that water heater has seen some scary things. Now, earlier this week, Alien X Gaming interviewed me in his part of his series of interviewing YouTubers and YouTube contributors as well. And he also interviewed Daniel Pratt's water heater. Oh, words are hard at this time of the morning. So he asked, I got permission to present this. In fact, I think, yes, there he is in the chat. So let's have a look at this video.
Hey everybody, Alien X Gaming here with another interview. Tonight I've got Daniel Pratt's water heater. Now we all know Daniel Pratt as that flat earth fucking idiot. Hopefully the water heater is not being cursed by his idiocracy. Anyway, so tonight we're going to ask a few questions to the water heater and let's see what he has to say. Maybe we'll get a little bit of a peek into the life living with Pratt. So, first and foremost, what is it like living with an absolute fucking moron? Yeah. Okay, so when he comes in there and does his little flat earth videos, do you ever get like uncomfortable around him at all? Yeah. So, do you ever feel just like exploding just to get the hell out of there? Yeah. All right. Well, I guess this interview's over.
Yes, that water heater, that's been through some very bad traumas, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Imagine the shit it's seen.
I mean, he sees that every time he looks at Daniel Pratt, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's heard all this torrent of bullshit coming from him all the time too. So.
Yeah, I feel like the living conditions granted that water heater sentience, and then being in Daniel Pratt's vicinity made it lose a lot of brain cells. So
I mean, that would be the definition of literal hell, right? Oh God, I'm alive. I can think. Oh, I'm stuck in this one place. Maybe that's not too bad. Wait, what's that? What's that smell? The hell's that? Don't tell me that's here all the time. No.
Oh, you went all Douglas Adams on that. That was awesome. Yeah, it's a bit like that whale that fell out of the sky. Yeah, in
you thought, not again.
Yep. Which was never explained in the radio series or the TV series, but it was in the book. So,
yeah.
And speaking of, oh God, not again. I want to play you this. Hang on. This be nice if that was quicker. All right.
And I just want y'all to fucking know. There are 7 floors in this parking garage. Look at all of these fucking spaces, okay?
What? Why is she crying?
This fucking single.
Oh, yeah.
Why?
That's,
oh my God!
yes,
I'm not. That's horrible.
That's from Texas, where they're having a bit of a cold snap at the moment. 7 levels on that car park. She parked there. There was no other cars in the entire car park, and that's where the water pipe burst. You know, so if you think God hates you, remember this girl.
Yeah, no, God's literally like to her. You know what? Fuck you today. No, just fuck you.
He's parked her ice cube. So
that's why I don't think that God is a benevolent being, because if God exists, then he's got a sick sense of humor like that.
If God exists, I see him more as like Q from Star Trek. You know, just like an omnipotent dick. Let's just fuck with people today.
Yes, Dora says, I'll show that. Yeah, she can't laughing. It's just amazing, isn't it? That you look at that, and of all that's the sort of thing that would happen to me. And I would think, yep, oh no, not again.
Oh my God, I feel so sorry for her. You know, she literally any other space in that car park, and that wouldn't have happened to her. You know, she must think the universe hates her. If I was her, I'd be afraid to go outside in case, you know, a passing bird died and impaled me to my front door or something.
Or a meteor fell from the sky. A meteorite, I should say, fell from the sky.
You mean a bit of the dome broke off, right?
Oh, yes, the blue obsidian, as Joey calls it.
Yeah.
that was just a crazy idea. Mr. S did a very good job on that video. I just wanted to say the water heater video was from Alien X Gaming. So if you haven't subscribed to Alien X Gaming, I suggest you do. He has lots of interviews with various performers, YouTube creators. I cannot words today.
We're not actors. We are not actors. Look, we had this talk before we went live, okay? I was told by NASA that you're only allowed to live stream monetized if you don't give away our secrets. You're letting everyone know that we're just paid actors, man.
Oh, okay. Well, he had Aaron Ra on there, so I thought you know, it's worth checking out for all the videos. He's even one on me. So and Global Mom and Jesse 10-2 has just joined, and a few other people who were in the chat, I suspect. So, and also people who aren't creators but are supporters of creators, like Commander Darklight. That was an awesome interview, I thought. And he's such a top bloke. He's supported, he's one of my top contributors on Coffee. And he supported Irish Demon and Team Skeptic and a whole lot of others. He's a really good bloke. And you as well,
I do know that he has supported Team Skeptic and Call of Duty.
Yes, yeah. Goes on his Team Skeptic After Dark. He says he goes on that game and gets shot a lot.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, subscribe to Alien X Gaming, because his content he's putting out is well worth watching, even though he's just popped out for a smoke, according to the chat. So let's have a look in the chat. Actually, I haven't said hi to everyone in the chat yet. We sort of got going because I was fanboy struck, I guess, by having such two creators who are over 10,000 Ks, over 40,000 Ks in your case, Craig. You're closing in on 50.
I know it's hard to be in a room with Planawalk. I mean, I'm always a bit nervous when I'm around such a celebrity like Planawalk. It's amazing.
Are you nervous in the same way you would be around Daniel Pratt, or?
No. If I was around Daniel Pratt, I'd be nervous. My skin would start to melt. But
Yeah.
that's I imagine being in the same room as him is like being in a sauna, but just a lot more smelly.
I'm nervous around Planawalk because I imagine it's a bit like being around Hith.
Yeah, just upside down.
Yeah.
I am still wondering what happened to Heath. I might make a video after a year of Heath's disappearance. Just
Well, maybe you could take over his channel and just pretend you're him.
Yeah, maybe you can do a whole you've stolen Hith's life thing.
Yeah, something like that.
I reckon
just change your channel name to Hith for a while and see what happens.
Well, there's actually plenty of Alien X gaming. There's a link to the video I showed in the description of this video, so you should be able to find his channel that way. I just want to say hi to everyone in the chat. So I just want to go through who's there. Global Mom, Theo Fungi, Alien X Gaming, Marty the Mad Scientist, who was my first super chatter ever. Clive Wells, always loved to see Clive Wells. The Bee's Nest videos. I've never heard of that one, so welcome here. The Real M Concave Earth Apple. Wow.
Well, yeah, he's an incredible dumbass, that guy. Sorry. I know he's in your chat being like relatively nice and stuff, but he thinks that he can debunk pi. And that just blows my mind. Wow. He's a concave earther that thinks that pi isn't what we're told and that he can debunk pi because we don't measure it right, because tape measures have got a margin of error. From my brain.
If he'd like to contact me on HUGH JARSZ1@gmail.com, I'd love to have a chat with him at some point. Sorry, Planawalk, you were going to say?
Yeah, well, I told him that it was my video where I told him that the tape measures will have a margin of error, right? And that explanation was to explain why he got pi wrong in his measurements. It's not explain why pi is wrong, because
you did a video on that, didn't you?
Yeah. Although I will be having Landon Knoll on my channel soon to talk about. The first thing we're going to discuss is different ways of calculating pi. Because Landon Knoll has got a program that calculates pi to something like 1,000 digits.
Yeah, it's not just a measurement. You can calculate it from other means. It's I get so confused when he says he's debunked pi. How can you debunk a ratio? A ratio is what it is.
Yeah, debunk it as what? Yeah, it's kind of proving it as something else, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you're either saying that pi is what it is, or you're wrong. Those are the two options,
Planawalk's just posted in the private chat pi, basically.
I'm going to post
at least
an
approximation to what, 100 decimal places, something like that. You got to post it in the real chat though. Yeah.
Limits.
Anyway, Jinx I got up to. So g'day Jinx. Global Mom again. Mark, hi Mark. FTFE's in the chat. Wow, FTFE's joining me. Yeah. Monochromatic Light Source, hello to you. Andreas Eld, I like his little quirky videos, they're great. Dora Unku, my favorite Dutch person. Pretty much every Dutch person I know is someone I like, but Dora Unku is my favorite. And I hope I'm still pronouncing her name correctly. Facty! Hey, Facty! We're still scrolling down. We got 50 people watching, so hello everyone. Ricky Bell. Ricky Bell's been saying a lot of good things lately, so good on you. Mark Short, Christopher Bell. Any relation to Ricky? Adrenochrome Slurper. Okay. Yes, I know what he means by that name. Demon Orb. G'day, Demon Orb. Who else we got? Bacon Earth, my mentor on Streamlabs. Hopefully he can help me improve. Nerf and Thompson. One of the best names. The second best name. Arctic Reflections is here. Another one of my favorite creators. Observer. Anything to do with Level Earth Observer? I hope not. Let's see. Still lots of repeat names. Charlie Welsh. Hello, Charlie. Cat Paw. Hello, Cat Paw. Jinx Yu is giving me lots of bacon. That's great. Wow, we got lots of people. Doctor Who, who created my avatar and intro. G'day, Doctor Who. Where are we going? Lots of repeats. Observer, Doran Koo, Doctor Who. We're scrolling down, scrolling. Keith Newton. Hello, Keith. That's a new name. Jesse 102. I said hello earlier, I think. CEO of Sabre. Hello. Geza the Masked Reviewer. Oh, he's a new member too. Hello, Geza. Or has he just changed his name? I'm not quite sure.
No, he's a member. It's green.
Yep. All right. Cool. And yeah, I should check the monetization channel page just to see who's there. So, are there any super chats? No, I haven't missed any. Memberships. What have I got here? So at the moment, I've got Monkey in the Works, Dora and Koo, Global Mom, Jezza the Master Reviewer, Marty Mad Scientist, Daryl M, and Theo Fungi as members. So welcome to you all. Thank you very much for that. All right. Time to get on with the stupid. So I want to introduce you. Sorry?
Fun. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to introduce you to a nutter I've found. She's I think it's accurate to call her a religious nutter, but that's not a disrespect to the vast majority of people who believe in God or whatever, because the vast majority of Christians anyway, because she's a Christian, would probably disown her and her beliefs. Clive Wells is telling us how to calculate pi. How about that? We've got some brainy stuff in the chat.
Oh wow! I wouldn't.
Yeah, I absolutely know what all that means. That all makes perfect sense to me. 100%.
Looks pretty easy, doesn't it?
Just at the moment, it's that meme of the woman looking at all the numbers.
All right, so I'm going to introduce you to Cat Kerr, and yeah, I think she pretty much introduces herself. So let's do that.
Cat Kerr. So glad, Cat, that you're here. And I want to introduce you to
God.
And Cat, one of the things I must say after talking with you I guess it's been a month or so ago now, is that Cat is totally convinced of what God is going to do. Do you still believe that, Cat Kerr?
Do you still believe that God is alive and on the throne? That is my answer to that question. As a matter of fact,
what a non-answer.
How many out there actually think?
Yeah.
Having known him for almost 70 years, when I received Christ at age 4, I
just want to say I don't do demons as the badge on her. I mean, who wears a badge like that? Poor old Irish demon.
Yeah. Wait,
he has no chance with her now.
Is she saying that her answer changes depending on who she's talking to? Because some people are going to say yes, they believe God is sitting on the throne, and some people are going to say no. Yeah. So. Yeah.
And I just want to reinforce, we're not trying to, we're talking about Cat in particular. People who believe in God, that's fine, It's the people who get extreme and start basically manipulating life here on Earth and using God as an excuse. That's the sort of people we're looking for.
Absolutely.
I know you're not quite as direct as me, but just say it's the batshit crazy people.
Well, yes. That's pretty much it. And she seems batshit crazy to me, based on what
that
she
hair's
said.
perfectly normal.
Well, yeah, it seems to me if you're over the age of 40, a woman over the age of 40, and you're not over the age of 70 and using a blue rinse, you should have grown out of colouring your hair like that, to be honest. That's just my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion.
I feel like I recognize her from somewhere, but I don't know where, and it's scary.
Yeah. I mean, I just want to eat some candy floss.
But something like that, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, let her speak from her own mouth, and you'll see what she talks about.
I'm a seer, so I saw him step inside of me, and my relationship only grew with him over all these years. And he's shown me many times things that would happen, and they came to pass. Now, I can tell you, some people can't be chosen by God because they can't believe for anything past a week or 2 weeks, which makes me laugh in a way, because there's some things I waited 40 years for him to do, but guess what? He did them. And he assured me back in 2015 that Trump would sit in the White House for 8 years.
that worked.
And I'm doing the prayer breakfast back in 2016, and he made me prophesy that. And God has assured me today when he walked into my room and woke me up at noon, almost noon, 11:55 a.m.
She got up at the crack of noon?
I'm up for like 20 hours a day, and sometimes I go to sleep, sometimes I don't.
I gotta say that doesn't sound like God. It sounds like her husband.
Kerr.
Yes, well, Kerr, yes. Yeah, she said God got inside her and things like that. So,
yeah, I mean, this doesn't sound like a good God. Does God just have a key to her house? Does he often come and just wake her up? Morning, love. Here's your breakfast.
Yes, she says she talks directly to God. So, the whole point of Jesus
he fucking listens as well.
Well, apparently, that's God told her that Trump was going to be in there for 8 years. In fact, let me just check when this was released. January 9, 2021. So, that was after January 6 when Biden was affirmed in the Senate. So she's making this prediction when it was too late, and yet she was still sticking with it. And this is the point of this. Isn't again not to mock people who are religious, but to mock this. It's similar to conspiracy nutters. They have this mindset that they're right, despite having no reason to believe that they're right, other than they want to be. And she's a perfect example of that.
Well, you see, it can still come to fruition. All she has to do is travel back in time and make it so that, and get enough support for Trump, and stop Trump from having so many screw ups as well. That would probably help. And then Trump will win. Then Trump will win in 2020.
Well, obviously, I mean, it's so simple. Just go back in time. I mean, I did that last week.
I'm working on time travel. I've not quite got it sorted yet. I don't know if you saw, but I did have future me come back, but I didn't ask him for the technology, and he didn't tell me where he got it. So I guess I'm going to invent it at some point. Yeah, he wasn't very. I didn't like him, but apparently I'm going to invent time travel technology at some point. So, or steal it from someone. Who knows?
Or maybe that. Yeah. Actually, you wait for someone to invent it, then you go back in time and steal it from them. That would work.
Isn't that a paradox?
Yeah, that's why it's funny, I guess. So, I mean, you might be doing time travel. I'm working on matter transportation, and I think I've got it leaked because I've noticed that, one night I'll drink an entire bottle of whiskey, and a day or two later I'll be somewhere else completely.
Right. So whiskey's been the missing ingredient.
Yeah, I just sort of wake up on a railway station or in my pool of my own, vomit outside a bus stop or something.
But do you have the problem where the matter transportation gets rid of your clothes?
Occasionally, yes.
Yeah.
And
we're working on that.
Sore for some reason, but.
And I'm working on cybernetically nothing. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah. Where do you think Simon Dan got his new legs from?
He got new legs. What was wrong with the old one?
No, he needed the NASA upgrades.
Ah, right, of course. Well, I thought he was all NASA.
Well, yeah, that's why they upgrade him first.
Yeah. And I definitely had no part in that. So.
All right. Anyway, let's get on with the stupid.
God did. And he came in and he yelled as loud as he possibly could, justice will prevail. I will not listen to the stuff, the acts, because they don't know how to put a show on. Hell never has put on a good show. This is still God speaking. Hell has never put on a good show. They've always lost the seats they went after. They lost whatever they were planning to do. He said, I kicked them out of heaven. That was the first show. Lightning was striking. They were kicked out, unseated, and stripped away from power. The second show was in hell on the third day, mentioned in Colossians, when my son stood up and released a fire of God from himself and melted the faces of the hierarchy of hell and made a show of it openly. And he said, the third show is still in rehearsal right now. He said, the enemy is fighting so hard, he still has not won. I don't count it as a win. He said, I will win, and Trump will still sit in the White House for 4 more years. If people cannot see beyond their own nose and understand that if they believe I'm doing something, they should keep on trusting. He said, but I'm about to put a show nobody expected.
Yep, she certainly got that one wrong. Trump will sit in the White House for 4 more years.
I figured it out, guys. She's got a cat called God, and she talks to her cat.
Right. That makes a lot more sense.
It does, doesn't it?
I was about to say, oh dear, God sounds like a crazy person.
But God sounds much more like a cat, right?
True.
Yeah, Trump will be in the White House. Give me some more nibbles.
I think her description of God is because sounding crazy is because she sounds crazy. It's just a matter of perspective. And not perspective.
Actual perspective.
Yes.
Well,
conceptual perspective, actually, but yeah. Because there's 2 types, and flirts mix them up all the time. But yeah, yes, I'm not sure how much more I want to watch of this because I'm sort of getting sick of the sight of it. But oops.
But yeah, she does hurt my brain.
Well, really let's go on to the next one, which I'm a little bit reluctant to show, given its subject. It's about what she talks about homosexuality, and so it's a bit disgusting. And I apologise to anyone who is on the gay side of life, if that's a way of putting it. But again, I just want to show how crazy she is.
On the gay side of life. That's a brilliant way to put it. I'm not homosexual, Dad. I'm just on the gay side of life.
Yes, there we go. But yeah, I just want to show how crazy she is, I guess. And that's what I'm trying to do with this. I don't want to offend you, but sometimes you've got to see it so that you know that what you're up against.
Hi, this is Cat Kerr, and I have a revelation report on something that is probably so significant in today's society, and that would be about homosexuality.
She sounds drunk.
What the true image is, the true image being made.
She'd have to be, wouldn't she?
God, what is that? What is it not? And I do have an opportunity many times to play with homosexuals. They actually contact me, having read my book or having an understanding that I have met God himself, talked to him, and they have realized just from that that connection that maybe there's something that's not quite right on the inside of them, although most of the ones who talk to me absolutely believe they were created that way, and they were not created that way. Okay, we're made in the image of God himself. There is no homosexuality in heaven. There's not even a hint of that lifestyle whatsoever. The word actually.
So there's no parties in heaven.
Most homosexuals haven't read the scripture in Romans that talks about what that is. It's a plot of the enemy, just like drugs, just like prostitution, just like greed. Those are all traps of the enemy. He wants to pull you away from the true image of God so that you won't live a victorious life. And I know many people can say, well, I've been born again. I know who Jesus is. I have them call me. I've received Jesus, and yet I'm still in this lifestyle, but I'm not quite sure what I should do about it. I thought I was going to heaven until I read, what God says in his word about that. And so what do I do? How can you show me? I know I was born that way. And I begin to show them the plan of the enemy, even actually before they're born. God has a very divine call in many people's lives. He sends to this earth.
It's just crazy.
Our way, the enemy can see that in the spirit realm that we cannot.
I've read the Bible.
I've had enough of that.
I'm pretty sure the Bible says something like, those who lay with man, the man who lays with man should be stoned. So, well, it's fine, because all you got to do is just make sure if you want gay sex, you just get stoned first, right?
Yeah.
And then you're following the word of the Bible. So
they had marijuana back in those days. So yeah.
Here's the thing, because when I read the Bible, it was only talking about bisexual men, right? Because it says if a man would lay with another man the same way he would with a woman, then he gets stoned. And gay men don't lie with women, so.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, they lie with a man like a man, not lie with a man like a woman. That's kind of the point, right? They don't want to be with women.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I read the Bible correctly, it says that gays are fine. God's got no problem with gays. But this woman's going on about there's going to be no gays in heaven. Then heaven sounds really boring, because I don't know about you guys, but every party I've been to that's been thrown by a gay guy has been a fucking amazing party.
Absolutely.
Right?
They're really fun people to hang out with, unironically.
Yeah. Sounds like heaven's going to be boring. I want that.
Yeah, well, I mean, not to stereotype, but they tend to be very creative, and they tend to be very wealthy as a result, because they're very good at being creative and turning that into money, and that's wonderful.
Yeah. I've got no problem with gays, and God and his omnipotence created everyone and controls everything and knows everything. So obviously it was part of his plan.
That's right. Yeah. God's not supposed to make mistakes if he's omnipotent and omnipresent. So these can't be mistakes. But yeah, as Global Mom says, she has a trans male son and a daughter who is a lesbian. And I am actually in the same situation. So yes, it's people are people, and they all need to be. We all need to love them all, and there are different ways of loving, of course. But yes, they need our love.
Not flat earthers, though. They're not white people, are they?
Oh, they still need our love. I mean, Joey loves me, obviously.
Well, I mean, by love, you mean derision, right?
No. Haven't you seen this? Hang on, let me call it up.
Oh, has Joey been hitting on you again?
Well, yeah, I did it on Toon's channel. Let me pull it up.
Clive Wells says that he suspects God is probably in denial, or his gay bashing is hiding something. You saying God's in the closet? Yeah.
I mean, what was the symbol of his love after the flood?
A rainbow.
It's amazing that he can show love just after he murders everybody. Now you can have love.
Yes.
Wait, everyone's dead. Who's gonna love? There's a bunch of animals, dude.
So let's just to prove that Joey loves me.
We got some super chats. We got HUGH JARSZ. You know HUGH JARSZ?
I love HUGH JARSZ.
Yes, he loves me. So he's actually maybe a moderator on his channel. So
nice.
In fact, he tried to do it twice. He tried to do it another time. Oh, you're already a moderator. So
wait, has he still got a channel now? Has he got a new one? Because I know his channel got taken down.
He's got a new one, yeah. So I don't know if I'm one on the new one. Yeah, I was on the old one. And you know, I think Joey's one of these guys who's had people in his ear, and once he thinks he's right, he's going to stick with that. A bit like Cat Kerr. Obviously, she was wrong, but she was going to, even though when it was too late to be right, she was still saying she was right. And Joey's a bit like in the same sort of mindset, I think. But Joey's been showing some signs of coming back to reality, although he's showing other signs of not coming back to reality. He now believes the contrails are contrails and not chemtrails.
Yeah. Apparently, he also now believes that volcanoes are real, which is a good thing because he fucking lives on a massive one.
Oh, he lives in Hawaii, doesn't he?
Yeah, in Maui. Yeah, it's interesting. I hadn't heard that he now believes in volcanoes. So I was thinking, how can he not?
Yeah,
I think he was saying, I believe in lava, but he doesn't believe in conical volcanoes. And I remember Simon and Dan showing a picture of a conical volcano. Because in Hawaii, they're all shield volcanoes. They're like it's like a big pimple rather than a volcanic cone. So.
Aiden X Gaming in the chat said, "I'm not gay, but $25 is $25. Am I right?" He's not wrong.
Well, he's cheap. Yes. Well,
hey, Reds.
Reds came in. Wow, Reds in my live stream. Woohoo!
How's in your live stream from my basement? Reds, how did you get internet down there? So I've been keeping him in my basement, and he. Sorry, I probably should have fed him or something by now.
We now have the two ugliest people on the planet in the same live stream. We might collapse into singularity of ugly.
Wait,
with me and him.
Who's the other? Oh, okay.
That's why I wear a mask.
I was worried for a second there.
I thought you were talking about Planawalk.
In fact, he would have a good time in prison if he went. So yeah, be good, Planawalk.
Don't worry, I am. I think.
Yeah, it's a singularity of ugly. That'd be that's a horrifying thought. It's a bit like the singularity of dumb. Remember that video? I did a video on it about Whitsitt and Nathan Thompson. They were just talking utter rubbish.
God, I've tried to watch some of their Clown World tour, and it's just like the most cringe thing in the world. I've not made a video on it because it's too cringe for me to watch and do it. I literally can't put myself through like watching one of those videos with those two idiots just simping over each other, and like, oh my God, I've never wanted to throat punch a group of people so much.
I feel like I could make it entertaining, but there would still be a cringe factor. I might do that actually.
Yeah, it's like Daniel Pratt. You can't really make it that entertaining because it's just such horrible craziness.
Like from what I've heard, I feel like I could add like careless whisper in, and that might make it a little more bearable.
But it seems that once he's lost, Thompson has lost his channel, he's lost his Facebook group, and his new one isn't really doing well. He's really gone up, and not to mention
lost two Facebook groups, didn't he? He lost 2 Facebook groups, and now he started his new one called Test All Things. So then a group of my friends on Facebook and I started a group called Test All Things that now has 3 times as many members as him. So, guys, you want to join a Facebook group called Test All Things, go and join the one that I'm a moderator on instead of Nathan Thompson's.
Drop a link in the chat.
But doesn't his new YouTube channel have like 2 strikes so far?
The new one belongs to someone else.
Oh, yeah, it's a new one.
Appearing on it, yeah.
Yeah, but it's already had 2 strikes, so...
Well, we got 66 people watching. I'm surprised at that. Thank you to everyone who's watching. Because SCSE put up his live stream at the same time, and I was thinking, I'm going to lose a bunch to him, but you've all come to me, so that's great. Thank you very much. And don't forget, I'm monetized, so you can throw me a super chat or become a member. I'd love you to become a member and become a real jar soul. We all need to be jar souls, don't we?
Yeah, and you're the best HUGH JARSZ.
That's right.
Link to the Test All Things group is in the chat, which I notice I don't have a blue spanner on, but you know, whatever.
Oh, let me fix that. You don't come to my chat enough for me to actually do it for you. Where are you?
You're usually streaming when I'm in bed. That's the problem. Stupid world with a globe and time zones.
Well, that's why I chose this time for you, to suit you.
Yeah.
Because I know it's daytime for Planawalk, but I don't see your name in the chat. Can you post again?
Me?
Is it not letting my link come through?
Well, both of you do it. But both of you post in the chat, just say hi or something, and I'll make you moderators.
I'm already a moderator.
Oh, good. There he is. At moderate. There you go, FTFE. Now you can post it.
Thank you.
But I expect you to be a responsible moderator, obviously.
Not just go and ban Red's rhetoric out of the chat.
Well, he's only posted once. We haven't seen him since. He's sort of he's locked up in that basement, FTFE's basement, of course.
Yeah, I'll let him out every now and then.
Well, it's good for the darkness to cover his face, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, I keeping him in there is actually, an act of kindness to humanity, because the more people that see his face, the more deaths there's going to be.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that Sean Hawkins said that he saw Reds 2 years ago, and you know how if you look at the sun and you get a little spot on your eye for a while, he's got that image of Red burned into his retina, which means he's seeing Red's face all the time. Imagine the trauma he's going through.
Yeah, I didn't used to wear glasses until I saw Red's face, and now I can't see without them. So
yeah, it's
I mean, so the question is it because of the? Do you now have to wear glasses because you saw Red's rhetoric's face, or because of the bleach?
To wash a bit of the combination of both. There was an initial impact that kind of destroyed most of my retinas, and then the scrubbing of the bleach didn't help afterwards. So yeah. A few surgeries later, and I've got some rudimentary vision. I can see like colors and shapes and stuff. No, never look at Red's face.
Alien X Gaming must be going to bed, so see you later, mate. Thank you for popping by. Thank you for letting us show your video. And everyone subscribe to him. Go to the video link, which is in the description, and you can find his channel that way. All right, so let's do some stupid. So I'm sure you guys... At least one of you have covered Charles Fockett before. I think that's the way you pronounce it. Fockett or Fuckett, whatever. He's a crazy flat earther. And I was thinking of doing a video, but then I thought, let's just have a watch in the live stream and let's have a chat about it. So let me put him on. Ready to go, share, and away we go.
embracing the love of the truth. Truth in the name power paradox.
This is Charles Foucault on the first day of winter, December 21st, 2016. This is a big day for us up here in Northwest Montana as the days start getting longer from here on out. I wanted to do this as a follow-up to the previous video I did as to how I think they are able to fake the zero gravity in
hairspray and gravity,
the International Space Station.
So,
I believe.
Are you sure you haven't got this video on like half speed, or is this just how he talks?
This is how he talks. You can speed it up if you want. In fact, we might do that.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, it sounded like he was, like, he's not just slow as in mentally slow. He's like slow as in like actually
he's in slow motion.
Slow,
or drug induced, it seems.
And it was obvious that they were doing so.
Oh, he's
But
almost
I think
normal.
they've completed their electromagnetic levitation device, and I believe that the ISIS.
So did you hear that? Electromagnetic levitation device.
That's how they get rid of gravity, is by using an electromagnetic levitation device.
Yeah, like that's invented. I mean, you're from NASA, you know.
We're not allowed to talk about it. I'm just wondering how he got those plans. They were supposed to be top secret.
I mean, you did that. There was that mistake of levitating a frog and showing that to everyone.
Yeah, that magnetic levitation to levitate a frog, which took like more energy than it takes to power a bunch of houses for a year.
And that's the thing, you know, if they had this technology, why would they hide it away? It'd be something so useful to the rest of society. I mean, we'd be able to move huge blocks and building and construction and things like that. And lots of use there, transport, so many uses for it. Why would they hide it? They could make a lot of money out of it.
We hide it away because it's so useful for society. Remember, we hate all human beings. We're trying to make the...
Well, that's totally understandable. I've met a few human beings.
Yeah, not my favorite bunch of people, to be honest, humans. I'm kind of done with them.
Fair enough.
See what else he says.
I'm sorry, ISIS. The ISS space station is actually on the ground somewhere, either in a
no, it's not,
or perhaps even underground, and it's around.
So what if it's on the ground? What's that thing I keep seeing in the sky in film?
Yeah, and why do they get rockets to go to the ground? That's not how you get underground. They're going the wrong way. And plus, why did Reds film a rocket going to space and then the Dragon capsule attached to the ISS transiting the moon? It's amazing that they did all of that whilst being underground. That's quite impressive, I'm honest. I'm well done.
It's quite an impressive deception, isn't it?
Yeah, to actually CGI Red's own perception is impressive.
But yeah, nothing is too crazy for these guys. So let's continue.
By one of these electromagnetic machines or gadget or device. You'll have to watch the previous video to get a background on this. But I went looking for some more information, and I want to show you what I found.
Just want to stop for a second. Because it's speeded up, you can see how difficult they are, that difficult time they're having in keeping in the same spot, because they're tending to float off. They must have their feet hooked under something. But they're obviously not just standing there.
And I didn't realize that hair reacted to magnetic fields. I mean, does most hair have metal in, or is it just me that doesn't have that?
Oh, they probably think that because when you put your hand on that thing that
like, you know, static.
Yeah, they probably think because of that.
Static's not the same as magnetism.
They don't know that.
Van de Graaff generator.
It's true. Yeah. Oh my, they don't know any. Man, you know, right? The thing is, it's only $200,000 to go to the fucking to space now. So we just need to make that money somehow and send a flat earther to space. Get him to do this.
But any flat earther that did that would be instantly disowned, wouldn't they? So you'd have to send the next one up, and the next one, and the next one, and they just never would accept it.
It's just the whole thing is an elaborate plan to get us to send them to space.
Well, that's it. Yeah, it's all a plot. All a conspiracy. We cracked it. We cracked it.
All the flat earthers like, yes, it's getting close. We'll be going to Mars, you idiots. You'll be paying for it.
Well, you see, with Level Earth Observer, that's exactly his plan. That's why he's so jealous of these astronauts, remember?
Yeah. Oh man, could you imagine sending flat earthers to space and say we got a bunch of flat earthers, put them in a ship and sent them to space, and then aliens met that ship, right?
Don't put
aliens.
Strap them to the outside.
Okay, either way, they'd probably survive because they don't believe there's a vacuum up there, you know. But let's just say there's a ship full of flat earthers, and it's going out there, and aliens meet them, and this is the representation of human race that they come across: a ship of flat earthers. They'd be like, nuke it. No, it's gone. Just get rid of it. They can't do that. Shoot it or something. That's it. We're done.
There'll be no federation for us.
Yeah.
Anyway,
get the Vogons.
And that's the amazing thing. I've always said, while there are stupid people, there will be flat earthers. And even when we have colonies on Mars and we're doing even interstellar travel, there's still going to be flat earthers saying space is fake.
Yeah, no. What's going to happen is in like 300-400 years, there'll be people on Mars that are like, you're a fucking shill if you say we came here in spaceships. There's no evidence of that. Mars is flat. We're in an enclosed dome, just like it says in the Bible. Mars is flat. We didn't come here in spaceships.
Yeah, I'll be surprised if the Bible's that serious in 300 or 400 years, but we'll see.
Yeah, it'd be just taken as a comedy book.
Well, possibly. Well, just a part of our history, really, like any other.
I think someone should just write a sequel. Just get it over with.
I mean, the Mormons already tried to do that, remember?
Oh, yeah, yes. But, you want it a bit more action. You want, like, the Bible too. Jesus is revenge. Jesus on the front, like, ripped as fuck, holding some Uzis with just, like, blood and explosions everywhere. I'd read that fucking Bible.
Yes, it'd be much more interesting. You can make a film out of it, too.
Yeah.
Much better than that John Travolta Scientology film. So. Battlefield Earth, that's what it was called.
Battlefield Earth,
yeah. But just what you were saying about the Van de Graaff generator, when you do that, some of your hair goes up, but this woman's got an awful lot of hair, and she's not touching a Van de Graaff generator. So, the charge to get her hair to go like that would be absolutely huge. It'd probably kill her.
Yeah.
It's just, they just don't think through things. They just see something that they think supports them, and so they grab onto it and hold on for dear life. But that's
everything I don't like is fake.
Yes, that's right. Even the bits that are fake aren't fake, or whatever. They contradict what I'm saying. Well, especially though. I'm trying to think like a flat earther, and it's not working. Everything's getting.
You're not dumb enough. You're not dumb enough.
Well,
it's impossible.
Your mistake.
Try smashing it.
No, his mistake there is trying to think like a flat earther.
Yeah, they don't think.
Yeah, that's right. Instead of trying to think, just bash your head on a wall and see what comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
It's flat.
All right, let's see what else this guy's got to talk about.
We're looking for other information on magnetic levitation, and here we have it in this video.
Levitation.
Walter Lewin, I guess you'd say. And let's take a look at this name. For those of you with eyes to see, you'll know already, but for those of you who haven't quite, who aren't quite completely awake yet, let's go have a look at this name. Lewin family history.
Walter Lewin.
History.com is a Jewish name, Ashkenazi, German and Polish spelling of
God.
Jewish. I don't need to say anymore. So back here at this website.
Wait, hold on. So
1,000, quite a few likes, only 30.
His issue there is that the guy's name is Jewish.
That seems a little bit anti-Semitic, don't you think?
What, flat earther who's anti-Semitic? Wow.
Why would being Jewish have anything to do with your knowledge? I just don't. I don't understand. Is the problem is that I can't think as dumb as them? Is that what it is?
Well, that's stopping you from understanding. Yes,
obviously. I think I need a lobotomy, like a few lobotomies, and then I might be able to understand where this guy's going. Oh, his name's Lewin. It's Jewish. See, told you. What?
Wait, are flat earthers just escaped lobotomy patients?
Possibly.
Like Jack Nicholson in that movie, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think flat earthers are what happens when the brain doesn't develop in the womb, but a child, is still born.
Well, actually, what happened to all those patients of the NASA lobotomy program?
Didn't they run for government?
Get off the fucking like the Tom Holland of fucking NASA. You're just going to allow all of our secrets. Well, we're going to need to give him next time, Hugh, that we get a stream with Planawalk, we're going to have to give him a script. And he's not allowed to go off the script because he keeps letting out the secrets. We're going to get in trouble.
I think we need to change his chip, I think. Or maybe produce another clone.
Who's your handler? Is your handler Mary or did you get Doug? Which one?
I got Mark.
Oh, fuck's sake. Not Mark.
I thought
did
Mark
you see
was
what
sacked?
happened when... Well, they brought him back because he won the tribunal. But, do you remember what happened when they put him in charge of HR for the week when Karen was off? Fucking pandemonium.
That was the week that the director of Earth-shaped counterintelligence stuff came out, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you got in trouble for that as well. You're not supposed to bring that up. Do you remember that was in the contract that you weren't allowed to talk about that again?
I mean,
can you just put on mute, Hugh? For fuck's sake. You realize this is my bonus you're ruining, yeah?
Well, speaking of bonuses, I've got another super chat from Second Best Bob for £5. Thank you very much, Second Best Bob. So I'm a bit behind. A Flurf's just saying fake about the Mars landing.
Yeah. Oh my god. Sorry. I before I started this stream with you, I just watched Level Earth Observer video about the Mars landing. Oh, and I'm gonna quickly write a new Flurf's Idiots episode. The next one was gonna be a collaboration with Where's Wally, but I need to get this one out because Level Earth Observer, his main objection to it was, well, look at the people in the control room. They're all kids. They're all just brainwashed kids that are being told to cheer. And I paused it and look, and they were all mostly old men and women. It's like, where's the fucking kids?
I'm going to be making a video on that too. Just earlier, I was actually thinking I'm going to make a video on because there's a couple of flat earthers I think that have responded to the
Flatzoid as well. I was going to cover. I'm going to cover Flatzoid and Leo in one video because both of their stupid is incredible. Flatzoid, his big thing was that he went out and took a photo of the dirt in his back garden with his cell phone, and then he had that on the screen instead of what Mars that they were showing from the rover. And at the end, he was like, "What? They could just fake it. I've already done it. Did you see?" That was his entire argument, was that he faked a photo and that it could have just been what NASA did. That's how easy it is to fake. Without realizing that, the photo that he's faked was a fake of a photo looking through a transparent lens cap on a fucking engineering camera.
Yeah. I'm going to be responding, mine will be two videos and responding to two videos in one. There'll be a video by Stay Flat Media 7. And it says, Flat Earth presents, you can tell Mars is real because it looks so fake.
Oh, fuck.
Proof positive there.
And I haven't watched the video yet, but it looks like his argument is because they had CGI mock-ups of Mars, that means that it's fake or something.
They just twist their logic to suit themselves. I think I need to make a point. Second Best Bob's super chat reminds me, this is my first monetized stream, folks, so you have to forgive me. I think all the super chats at the beginning, I just said thank people for them and I didn't read them out. So I apologize for that, and I'll get better at this as we go along, I hope. Obviously, Planawalk and FTFE are old hands at this, but this is my very first time at this, so very sorry to those people that I didn't read out your super chat, if that was the case. I don't remember now. I was in such a flurry when this started. And I was a bit
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, well, something like that. Yes, I was being a bit flirty, but I'll get better. So, but yeah, once again, thank you very much for all your super chats. So let's move on with Charles, see what else he says.
3 dislikes, and then what caught my eye is, how do magicians levitate women with a demo? Way over here. We'll get to that in a moment. But I made a comment here, and there was quite a bit of an exchange between me and probably a graduate student of this professor, and he's got this YouTube site, this channel, lectures by Walter Lewin. They will make you love physics. So let's have a look at this. I'm going to get over to before I do that. They
just skip to the end and cherry pick something. That's what he's about to do. Isn't it?
People about different myths, because it's only in a mathematical formula. And I'll show you more of that in a minute. But let's get this going here. So he's teaching the class, and there's quite a few of them in there. You'll be able to see that in a minute. I'm going to click over here and get past all this, get to the point where he's going to levitate.
Oh yeah, skip all the important stuff.
Yeah, the reason why.
The woman here. Let's. There we go. Come on, let's go. Let me speed her up even a little more. Keep everybody in suspense. He's a good teacher, obviously. They all love it.
Well, you fill that one with helium to make it levitate.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Electromagnetic device is going to be used to, let me pause it, slow her down.
So to him, that's a woman.
And
I mean, it's possibly the closest he's got, you know?
Yeah.
On. And she's floating. Zero gravity. That's that little device.
Zero
she's not very heavy. It's just a blow up doll, and they're all impressed. Class is over.
Jesus Christ.
Session is over for a while.
Oh.
What? I mean, that thing would have weighed what, 100 grams tops? Not like you know, what's a typical woman, 60 kilograms or something like that.
Depends if he'd used it first. Wait, sorry, what?
Yes, well, yeah, it might have been 200 grams. Who knows? Hopefully, he cleaned it beforehand. I haven't thought about that. I didn't think about that at all until you mentioned it. I love the way your mind works. That's why I'm such a fanboy. But yeah, I mean, you know, that Flurfs talk about you know, a helium balloon proves that gravity doesn't exist. No, it doesn't have a lot of weight to lift, and the buoyant force can lift it, and it's just an equalized. Well, force is out of balance, which means it moves up until it reaches balance again. Often a helium balloon will float around your ceiling, and then it'll come down a little bit because the helium escapes, and it gets equilibrium, and it's not touched the roof anymore, and it'll eventually sink to the bottom as the helium escapes some more.
So what you're saying is gas go down, go boom, boom.
Absolutely.
Right. I understand that completely. I think that should be a phrase that everyone uses. In fact, I'm doing a T-shirt. Fuck it. Gas go down, go boom, boom.
I think it'd be a great T-shirt.
I need to do a few T-shirts. One of the ones that I'm thinking is the Dunning-Kruger T-shirt explaining the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Dunning-Kruger effect.
Yeah, it's basically because they didn't use flat earthers in the Dunning-Kruger effect. So the Dunning-Kruger effect doesn't apply to flat earthers. That's what Fred Durst said anyway.
Yeah, that's when Fred Durst Dunning-Kruger the Dunning-Kruger. It was incredible.
Along those lines, hang on, let me just put you back on screen. Oops, that's the wrong screen. There we are. Now, you guys have this thing where you look at each other, and given that you're at opposite ends of the earth. So can you do that now? There we go. You're looking, yeah, FTFE is looking at Planawalk, and Planawalk's looking at FTE right now.
Yeah.
You there? No, you don't. You're useless at this Planawalk.
I mean, there is a few problems, right? The problem is that they
look at the camera now.
There's this NASA thing where they move everything around. You know, it's confusing. Like 1 minute you're over, 1 minute you're over there, then you're over there, then.
Well, he's on the ISS a lot, so he's moving around a lot very fast.
Yeah, those NASA teleporters can just like they're really inconvenient. Actually, I mean, you guys aren't high enough up in the ranks to know, but when you get one of those teleporters implanted, they can just activate it at any time. I was in the shower the other day, fucking straight into an office in the middle of a meeting. Like, it's not good.
Well, it would be even worse if you're on the toilet.
Yeah,
especially after a dodgy Vindaloo.
Yeah, flat earthers don't like this picture.
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously the flat earthers are jealous of Riley, right?
Yeah.
Yes, because he's a genius.
Oh my God, Riley trying to understand Coriolis effect is one of the funniest things in the world. Like he literally thinks that thing go up, Earth turn under. That's Coriolis.
Which it isn't at all. And even Oakley, I think Oakley says that a lot, and that's why he thinks it.
Yeah.
But
Oakley's even worse. He's like, yeah, well, Bob told us there's a 15 degree per hour drift. So why, when there's a drone in the air, doesn't it drift away at 15 degrees? And it's like, that's so wrong. It's not even wrong. It's just moronic, and I want to punch you.
It's like that Eric Dubay video that I responded to, where basically, like, at some points he got conservation of momentum right, and then he got it wrong because he ignored what he got right. Like
that sounds like Raleigh. Oakley, yeah.
No, Eric Dubay.
Oh, Dubay, sorry, yeah.
Like,
I'll just say Jesse's leaving. So thanks for being here, Jesse.
Bye, Jesse.
Yeah, he'd get it right, and then he'd immediately get it wrong afterwards.
Oh, my favorite thing is when flat earthers read something that totally disagrees with what they're saying, and then go, "See, I was right."
Yes.
Oh, that was what Eric Dubay did. But the reason why he, I think he was reading out of Zetetic Astronomy, right?
Yeah.
And essentially what he did is he took a quote, he quote mined from Zetetic Astrology.
Yeah. That's the thing, right? Flat earthers' entire trick is, well, lately anyway, is to try and read something physics and then just they read a phrase, and the phrase might just contain the word flat, even though it's not talking about Earth or anything. And then see, it says flat, therefore that's my citation. You're like, what? Like, QE and everyone is pushing at the moment that when you're talking about a scientific method, the first thing you do is observe a natural phenomenon. But then they get to the experiment part where you observe the dependent variable, right? And because the word observe is in both of those, they're now running with, oh, well, your observed phenomenon is the dependent variable, just because the word observe is there in both those bits. And that's what they're all running with now, is that, well, why isn't your observed, how do you have that as the dependent variable if that's your observed phenomenon? You don't know science. And you don't even know where to start, because they're wrong on top of wrong on top of wrong on top of wrong.
Well, it's quite amazing. I love it when Riley's trying to read a scientific paper or even a legal one, and he just doesn't get it, and he just interprets it the way he wants to, and it's so obvious, and it's just amazing that but the problem is people who know very little, don't know how to read scientific papers, don't know how to read legal papers. They'll watch him and they think, oh, he was trained as a lawyer, so he must know what he's talking about because he's a trained investigator, that kind of thing. And they believe what he says. That's how he gets an audience at all, because there are people out there who know less than he does. And that's why, to me, I've started my channel to provide better information than that from people like him.
Yeah, I mean, anyone that listens to Riley because he's a lawyer needs to understand that Riley's been in court 3 times and he's lost 4 court cases.
He's got a perfect record. He's lost all his cases. Yeah,
I think he's lost more times than he's been in court just because he's that bad.
Yes, yeah.
Like literally one time he went to court, the judge's conclusion was that the court is at a loss. This is exact words verbatim. The court is at a loss as to how Mr. Riley has come to this conclusion. Like that was the judge's final words in the court case. Like they were, what the fuck are you on about, basically?
Yes, put in legalistic, polite terms. Yeah,
yeah.
And yes, he's just a nutter. I love engaging with him in comments. That's the word. I was going to say chat, but no, it's not chat. It's the comments. And he just comes up with the most ridiculous argument. So I present to him, why that's not right and what he should be thinking. And then he basically ends up saying, you're a dickhead, basically. You can tell that he would have made an absolute crap lawyer because he just doesn't know how to argue anything.
Yeah. If I'm ever like in legal trouble, right, and someone's saying they're going to sue me, I will somehow try and get Riley to be that person's lawyer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not using him, but I've heard about this other guy who's good. You should use him. Yeah.
yeah.
He's got a perfect record too.
Yeah, I found this this lawyer. Here's his card. Why is it covered in ketchup? Don't worry about that.
Yes,
why does it smell funny?
Yeah.
It was by Daniel Pratt's water here. Don't worry.
Why does it look like it's got cloudy ammonia on it?
Why is it yellow?
All right. So I'm not sure how much more stupid this guy goes on with, but let's see what he's. Oh, I've got to change my screen. See what he goes on with.
So let's go down here real quick. I asked the question, is magnetic levitation on a much larger scale, obviously, how NASA is able to fake the zero gravity in the ISS? I get a response just a few minutes later. It doesn't show, but see, 22 hours ago and 22 hours ago, there is gravity at the ISS. Without gravity, it could not rotate around the Earth. However, everything in the ISS has no weight, and that is not a fake. And I respond.
Yeah. So again, confusing weight with mass. That's what they do. What weight is mass with a gravitational vector on it. If there's no net gravitational vector, there is no weight, but there still is mass.
But then when you say to them, oh, well, it's mass, they go, define mass. And then they argue that because they're using like a dictionary definition of mass, which says it's an undefined amount of things, they go, well, mass is undefined, therefore you can't use it as anything. Just because they don't understand words and how the English language works.
And here I thought that right the hands debunk of Newton's laws of motion were stupid.
Oh, they are. Don't go away from that. They definitely are.
Yes. It's because the answer to that question that the first pose was, well, go to the moon. You've got the same mass, but it weighs a sixth of what it does here on Earth. And they just say, oh, the moon's fake. You know, space is fake. So therefore, that's not relevant.
Circular reasoning.
Their whole tactic is to redefine the entire world to suit them rather than, okay, this is what happens in the world. How do we explain it? But anyway, that's bloody Flirst. Let's see what else he's got to say.
If you say so. And then I edited it. Can you show us an experiment demonstrating gravity? And he comes back pretty quick. And he says gravity near Earth's surface radius r is blah 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 blah. Thus, at the altitude of the ISS,
blah 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 means he doesn't understand.
Larger than r.
Yeah.
G is about 9 blah 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 blah. That is a must to stay in orbit. Okay.
You know, here's the thing.
Formula. You can't demonstrate gravity.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Like, if he actually understood what he was saying, then it would actually show that he has at least a little bit of competence to be able to understand, hey, this is, I am someone that should be taken seriously. But by saying blah, 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 he's saying that he's someone that shouldn't be taken seriously on this.
Yeah, you notice how he started going blah, 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 blah when he was reading the maths. He always wants to skip over the maths. And why is that? That's because he doesn't understand the maths.
Yeah. And he doesn't understand that maths are the only place where you actually have proof. And if you've got maths that describe what you're talking about, it can be proven, and therefore it's a fact. But they don't want that because they don't want it to be a fact. That's the main reason they reject maths. Like, I love Riley when he was asked what's 5 divided by 0, and he says, oh, it's 5 in the real world, you know, because if you have 5 apples divided by zeros, you still have 5 apples.
Someone sent me a clip of him in Discord a couple of days ago, and he's still doubling down on that.
Well, that's what stupid people do, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do love how he basically says, I think it was either him or Oakley that said if you have, I think it was him saying about if you have 3 ice creams and then you take away 5 ice creams, how many ice creams do you have?
Well, at that point, you owe me 2 fucking ice creams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Mike 71, I think the point you're making is that maths proves things and it could also disprove things, and that's absolutely correct.
Yeah, exactly. If Riley really thinks that negative numbers aren't a thing, can he tell my bank that, or?
Yeah. Yes, it'd be nice if they worked that way. Oh, yes, Keith Newton's got a good point about demonstrating gravity. You can demonstrate it physically by weighing things at different altitudes because you're further away from the center of mass, so therefore the effect of gravity is less. So slightly less.
But you're assuming R. You're assuming R. You can't do that. That's a fallacy.
You're not allowed to assume things.
Well, no, it's testing a theory, it's a hypothesis. So
no, you can't do that because a theory is germ theory. What's Nathan Oakley's feel on that? Does germ theory have it? What's the independent variable to germ theory?
Yeah. No, that he would just start talking about IV and DV. What's your independent variable by weighing something? You got to be. That means you're assuming that you can weigh things. Well, Riley, we're assuming you've got a brain, but that's never been proven.
Yeah. Show me your brain, Riley. Come on, prove it that it exists.
FTFE, you're making a mistake by assuming that he has a brain.
Yeah, I am. You're right. I shouldn't make such stupid assumptions. I mean, he's got a barely functioning bundle of neurons that somehow allow him to walk and talk at the same time.
Well, even then with difficulty.
Yeah. If he's walking and talking at the same time, then someone actually has to stand next to him and go, breathe in, breathe out.
You imagine having a meeting with Riley and he suddenly collapses. Says, "Oh, you forgot to breathe again, you idiot."
Yeah. And Riley's just lying on the floor holding his throat. Oh, fuck's sake, breathe. Oh, thank God. Oh, you twat. Could you imagine being his friend, like being out on the piss or something with him? You have to just look after him all night.
You gotta wonder, like, if the people handling him don't just sometimes wonder if they should just let him die, you know?
Well, like, I wonder if he's actually quite smart.
Or something.
I wonder if he's actually quite smart. It's just so much of his brain power is dedicated to arrogance.
Yeah, his arrogance is off the charts, over 9,000.
Yeah, there's not much left over for actually thinking.
Oh.
I mean, that does seem like it could be a lot of flat earthers.
One of my favorite things Riley ever said was that, well, if you turn off gravity, then the heliocentric model doesn't work. Therefore, you're wrong. Well, that's actually correct, Riley. If you turn off gravity, the heliocentric model doesn't work. You're absolutely fucking right.
That kind of proves that gravity exists, doesn't it? Because it does work.
Can we just never put Riley next to the switch for gravity?
Oh my God, I know, right?
Yes.
I mean, to be honest though, if there was a switch for gravity, I'd be pressing that thing all the time. I mean, if there's any button that like has "do not press" next to it, then well, my final words are probably going to be, "What's this do then?"
Hey, Mark, can we add FTFE to the list of people that we cannot put next to the switch to gravity?
Well, that Mark again. Yeah, just imagine Riley becomes president of the United States.
Mark has just assigned me to the switch by gravity. Did you realize that?
Oh, jeez.
Imagine if Riley became president of the United States, for example, and he sees on his desk there a big red button marked Moscow, and he says, "Oh, what's this do?" And he presses it.
What's your independent variable from Moscow?
All right, I'm immediately ordering flights to the northern hemisphere. No, to the northern hemisphere.
That's one place you don't want to be.
If a flat earther was in charge of like a country that had nuclear powers, I would do everything in my power to just leave this planet. I'm like, no, I'm done. I'm out.
Yep.
Elon, whatever it takes.
If stars have trouble landing, we will take one off to Mars.
Elon, I don't care if it's not quite ready. Put me on the fucking rocket now.
Elon will probably be saying, "I'm going too."
Well, you know, Elon actually his plan is to die on Mars, which I think is an awesome thing to be aiming towards, right? You know, to die on another planet.
Well, some person is going to be the very first person buried on another planet, aren't they? So
yeah, I mean, there's going to be the first person born on another planet. You know, there's going to be the first robbery on another planet. There's going to be the first low IQ moron that says that Mars is flat on another planet.
And there's going to be the first meeting of the Flat Mars Society on another planet.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. I had a joke, but it's gone. Damn it, I hate getting old. All right, so we're not far to go with Charles. We've been having so much fun with him, too. We've been talking for a long time about Charles.
Wait, Hugh, you said that you hate getting old. Don't you eat babies?
No. Jelly babies, maybe. But that's what made me old.
So, so you're not getting the adrenochrome. So that's why you're getting old.
Adrenochrome and slurper, yeah. Well, yeah, we're not flat earthers, so we eat babies. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we all do. All of us, paedophilic, satanic, globe earth shills, we all eat babies. I mean, don't you get your ration from NASA each day of, you know, aborted fetuses? I know I do.
Yeah. Aborted fetuses.
Right. It's what that blender that I got was for. In fact, I've got one in the slow cooker right now. Going to have it tomorrow. It's pulled baby pork. It'd be lovely.
Yes. I love children, but I couldn't eat a whole one.
I could. Yes. That's why I fight tight shirts.
Yes. Well, maybe, yeah. Yeah. I was just thinking, we're talking about the first person born on Mars or another planet and that kind of thing. Isn't it wonderful that all of us have been alive at a time when the very first person to walk on a body other than Earth existed, Neil Armstrong?
Yeah. Although I'm kind of like, fuck's sake, I'm like right at the beginning of this shit. I want to be around in 200 years' time. I've been born a little fucking early, man. Like,
I want to be around when because I think there's a new paper out there that has how we could possibly end up bending space-time. You know, I want to be able to go to like other planets outside this solar system.
I'd like to go and see Saturn. Yeah.
I'd like to live in a time where instead of going to get my first car, go and get my first warp-capable starship. You know, that'd be every 16-year-old present. Dad, I wanted the Mark 7 warp. You only got the Mark 4.5.
You know, I just want to make it a marker. I might be the first person to ever say this. I don't know. But I reckon the first interstellar-capable starship that we ever produce, and it might be in 100 years' time, might be in 1,000 years' time, who knows? But if it's not named Enterprise, there's something wrong.
Yeah. But the way that it's going, instead, it's probably going to be sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends.
Oh, Ebony's the other ad I see a lot of.
Yeah.
So the Mars reviewer asks, do I think 2030 is a realistic aim for the first manned mission to Mars? And the answer is no. I don't think it'll be difficult for us to get to the moon by 2030. But I think it's important to set goals and have aims so that we, it helps you move towards that goal. And if it's 2050, well, that's great. But I think unless you set the goal, you're not going to start moving towards it.
I don't think it's completely outside the realms of possibility. There's a lot of hurdles to overcome. But I do think if there's anyone that could, have the drive and the ability to do it, it is Elon Musk. He's got unlimited funds. The dude is richer than we could ever imagine. He's not only now the richest man in the world, he's got like double the fucking wealth of the second richest man that he's gained in the recent, he owns more money than like everyone else in the world fucking put together. It's insane, If there's anyone that has the drive and the funds to do it, I think it's that guy,
Well,
he's offering $100 million too, isn't he?
Yeah.
To be fair, like the only reason that Elon Musk is the richest person in the world is because of all his investments into Dogecoin.
Yeah. and GameStop.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I just wanted to point, I put it up on the screen, but Dora and Koo, God, she's got a good sense of humor. I said the first starship should be called Enterprise, but she's saying it could be called Arc B from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. I love that. Yes. All right. So let's just see if Charles has any more funny things to say.
So remember back here, I asked him, can you do an experiment? And he comes back with this mathematical formula. And he comes back pretty quick with an answer. And he says, if you are in the ISS and throw an object with a speed of about 8 kilometers per second in the direction opposite of the blah, 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
I don't know where this came from, but he says, not true. Oh, yeah. So this is, he's saying right here, not true. Read my last message, which is this one. He's using math as his experiment. And then
he should have actually read his last message.
He's not. He's saying if you do these physical things, this is the math that describes what's going to happen.
The ISS would escape from Earth and would not be able to orbit Earth. Then I come back a few hours later and I said, you're making an assumption I'm not willing to make. That is, the ISS orbits the Earth. And aren't you using circular reasoning, aka begging the question, a logical
same script over and over?
Newton's laws are correct. They have been verified some 10 to the 99th times. He's trying to he's telling me in a polite way, I guess, that I don't know Newton's laws and that he knows more than I know.
No, you don't clearly.
Only orbit the Earth or the Moon or the Sun or a planet or a comet if it is in its gravitational field. See, so he's assuming that all of these things orbit the planets, the sun. So anyway, let's go on. In the absence of a gravitational field, the object will move in a straight line. This is straightforward high school physics. It can be derived using laws. And this is my last message on this topic.
Yes, because he's just woken up to the fact that this guy's an idiot.
Question him, and he doesn't like it because I'm
no, it's because you're an idiot.
BS. So I come back and I say, I know you're done with this, but aren't you assuming ISS orbits the Earth and all the other objects?
And he proves he's an idiot.
You verified it for yourself, but because that is what you've been taught. We've been shown images and told what they represent, and we accept
it's not what we've been taught. We can demonstrate it ourselves.
Well, I'm an exception.
Red's measured it.
What a good student is supposed to do in a science question hypothesis. I asked my first question because I don't assume ISS is orbiting the Earth.
But that's ignoring evidence.
Inside a large levitation device. Thanks for taking.
And you got no evidence for the levitation device.
Other than a math formula and circular reasoning, you cannot demonstrate gravity's existence. And yet that is taught as straightforward high school physics. My point is, just because it is widely accepted and taught doesn't make it the reality. In conclusion,
well, that's actually true. Just because it's widely accepted and taught doesn't make it the reality, but the fact that we can test it for ourselves does.
Okay, here's my challenge to all flat earthers, right? So if a flat earthers watching this, then I've got a challenge.
I've got one. Try to breathe underwater.
You know how you ask us to replicate insane things like replicate water conforming to a ball by virtue of gravity alone? I've got an insane thing to ask a flat earther. Replicate the ISS being levitated by electromagnetics or whatever.
I mean, it's weird. This guy has assumed something that doesn't exist. And then he's arguing with other people and telling them, you're assuming that the ISS orbits the Earth, which can be demonstrated. It's just, he's talking, and then he accuses the other guy of circular logic.
I mean, we do have circular logic on our side. Like we are globe heads, right?
We're the only ones. We are the only ones with any kind of logic, at all.
Well, true. I've got a $5 super chat from Indie Tiger. Thanks you for that. Nathan Thompson will be leading the largest Flat Earth Mars Society. I'm not sure he'll live long enough for that.
Look, if Nathan Thompson's going to Mars, then I'm just leaving the fucking solar system. That's it. Planawalk. What if we just dropped everything right now? How long before we crack? Well, I think we need pole fusion for the energy, and then an Alcubierre warp drive. 10 years, 12 years, do you reckon?
Yeah, not too long.
No, you guys are thinking about this. You're thinking about this wrong. All you need is an electronic thumb. We can hitch a ride on an alien spaceship.
Well, actually, no. We do have the ability to go beyond the ice wall, so we could always do that.
Well, yeah, we escaped this Earth that way. Yeah. I mean, why do they think that this Earth is at the center?
I need to be at least 15 parsecs away from these morons, or I'm not going to be happy.
That's further than the Kessel's run.
You're going to annoy all the Star Wars fans. Stop it.
I don't know if I annoy them, but yeah. I should have said shorter. That it's less time than the Kessel's run.
Yeah.
What's this about annoying all the Star Trek fans?
Oh, yeah.
the Doctor Star Trek fans, yeah.
Yeah,
whatever.
I love that character, the Master from that movie Star Trek with the Vulcans.
Yeah, and the Empire. Yeah.
Live long and prosper with the Force.
Hopefully we don't have too much of this. Seeing we're doing it at 1.5 speed, that's like a minute and a half. So let's just finish it off and then laugh some more.
Show us these images, which are nothing more than CGI, computer,
of course,
generated images.
I don't like it, so it's fake.
Very good. This is Hollywood script. This is Hollywood working with NASA, and they show us, and they tell us what it means and what it represents.
Hebrew for deceive, isn't it?
At least I did for quite a while.
Absolutely.
And they're getting a lot more sophisticated. So they're able to get these objects to float above the machine. I don't know if it's a machine or I don't know what you call that down
Look
there.
at gravity working there.
I know. Why is it going down?
Odor. And look at that little machine.
Why is it on the table?
Hold these objects up off the top of the table.
Yep. Show that with a train, and I'll start believing there is a levitation device.
Yeah, but things on top of that don't have like their hair and stuff all floating up.
and all the rest of that.
Like gravity is still affecting the things on top of that, you know.
Real quick, this video is so stupid. What move was that in the chess?
I think I'll. Yeah, I mean, all these things are. It's just magnetism and the force. Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't think I've seen that one before. It's just a matter of net forces, isn't it?
Yeah. Gravity is, gravity creates a force that can be measured. There's an acceleration towards the ground. Everything has a mass. You can calculate the force that gravity exerts on things. But that force has a limit, the amount of newtons that's applied. So if you can apply a greater force in the opposite direction, like, I don't know, with a buoyant force or with wings on a tiny mass or massive fucking engines on a rocket, then you can go the opposite direction to gravity. I don't understand. I keep saying I don't understand how they don't know, but I mean, at this point, I've been doing it for 2 and a bit years, and the only option is that they're all, mentally disabled.
Well, the reason you don't understand is it's not possible for a normal person to understand.
It blows my fucking mind.
Yeah. How can they be the same species as us and not get this?
I know. Like, who an alien? They were like, "What species are you?" I'd be like, "Human." Sorry.
Oh, is that the one with the flat earthers?
Oh, no, yeah. Well, come back! Fuck's sake.
Yeah, there's a reason why aliens haven't made contact with us.
Yeah, they did, and then they were like, wait. There's people that think you live on Earth. Guys, we'll come back in 1,000 years, okay?
Yeah. We got 83 people watching. That is huge for me. So thank you very much, guys. Welcome to everyone who's here. I hope you stick around for my next live stream.
But they saw the US as leader, and then they're like, "Oh, democracy has failed."
Well, they saw the former leader, you mean? And then they saw the current one, and they fell asleep.
Now, the thing is, what they did was they realized that one of their species had been attached to the former leader's head, and had somehow taken dumb on board. And if that's what being just near one of them does to us, then no.
Yes, aliens are sentient toupees.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ricky, for your congratulations.
Wait, aren't you just talking about tribbles?
Yeah, tribbles, I guess. Yeah, sentient toupees. Yeah. Well, it does look like a tribble, doesn't it, on his head? Flurpies. Flurpies just said to you that's flurpies. Yeah.
I just thought about something. It was inspired by someone in the comments saying, "Why do you think they do the anal probes?" But I think I've worked out that aliens they abduct people to try and help us, because it always seems to be the most craziest people that they abduct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They're trying to get to their brain.
Okay, alien, can you please go and abduct Daniel Pratt and Nathan Thompson and Riley and all that?
The problem is, I suspect they already have.
Yeah. It'd be better if they abducted Neil deGrasse Tyson or something. Then they might talk to us more.
True.
No, I was just thinking about that they might meet Neil deGrasse Tyson, and then they'll meet someone a little bit more normal, and then think, "Oh, you deceived us. you are a bunch of fuckers."
Wait, there's some of you that are like that. Fuck this, I'm out.
I think what they've done is they abduct these people. They don't intend to give these crazy people back to us. Not when they abduct them.
Yeah, but they just get sick of them, so they'd say, "Look, get out of here,"
So maybe we should be like, "No, it's right. No, you touched it last. It's yours now."
So that's just about all the videos I have to show for today. Anything you guys want to talk about that you can think of? Maybe one of your videos that you want me to show?
On the spot now.
Put you on the spot.
So I was actually this is to do with Discord. I was actually excited recently because Right the Hand joined my server, but surprisingly, when Right the Hand joined my server, Fred Krueger decided to inexplicably be absent, and then when Right the Hand leaves the server, Fred Krueger pipes up again.
They're not the same person, though. I've debated both of them.
Are you sure about that?
Are you saying a flurf is deceptive and deceitful?
Yeah,
Not flat earthers, never.
No.
I was hoping that they could flirf together.
Ugh.
Family that flirts together, potato.
Make some little flurf babies.
Ooh, no thanks.
But yeah,
so I often want to tell flirfs to go forth and multiply, but the multiply bit I have trouble with.
Yeah, I wish they wouldn't breed, honestly.
Well, do they know how? It's like insert tab A into slot B, you know?
Wait, sex is just scientism nonsense. That's not how babies are born. It's the storks, you fucking idiot. Just the stork's not come to me yet.
But yeah, when it comes to Jason, like he's still he's been asking PhD Tony what his name is.
PhD Tony.
Yeah. He keeps on asking PhD Tony what PhD Tony's name is. And
wait. What's that? What's that smell? Oh, Gary Webenenga's in the fucking chat.
Oh, is he again?
Yeah, I knew I could smell something.
I always get thumbs down, and they're always from him.
I must be. I was amazed when I saw Gary Webenenga on Tommy Gronville's channel the other day because I always assumed he was a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah.
Are you sure that he's not a 12-year-old kid?
No, he's an obnoxious, idiotic old man.
Oh, okay. Are you sure that's not just a voice changer? These kids are getting pretty good with technology these days.
They showed his picture, so.
Yeah.
Don't time out Gary, please, guys. I want to make sure he reveals his own stupidity.
Yeah.
If he's on my channel, though, feel free to play Whack-A-Troll.
BV, we don't just bash the flurfers. We don't bash anyone. We make fun of people who have no valid reason for believing the things that they believe, which they believe so adamantly. If they had a reason for it, idiots, basically, because to me, that's my definition of idiot, that you believe in something even though you have no reason to. And that's what makes it hard for everyone else, because we have to deal with you people.
Mm.
Dead Kennedy in Space had an excellent video about that guy who sabotaged some COVID vaccines, about 500 of them. And he wasn't a flat earther, but he was an anti-vaxxer. He was a pharmacist, but an anti-vaxxer. Can you believe?
Apparently, he was a flat earther as well. It's found out.
Oh, was he? Oh, okay. Yeah. And flat earth in itself is fairly harmless, but it sort of opens you up to all these other conspiracies where harm can happen, like anti-vaxxing, 5G, or people burning down towers and things like that. It's a stupidity our society can do without. We're far better off without it than with it because of these consequences. And so
but it's funny.
It is funny, yes. Yes, there's nothing wrong with having fun while you're doing your job in debunking the stupid.
Yeah, you like imagine how many people might be thinking that they'll try and advance science or something and then get introduced to flat earth nonsense. And you got
PhD Tony's there.
just
FTFE's picture. Yeah. Oh, it's not PhD Tony, it's Daniel Pratt. All right. Oh, speak of which, he's just joined the chat. Hello, PhD Tony. Wow, that's amazing.
Speak of the devil and he shall arrive. I was just talking about PhD. I was about to say about PhD Tony earlier. When it comes to, he's been telling Jason that his geometry is wrong in the private chat that we've got on Discord. That's the only. I did love one of the things that PhD Tony said. Like, there's been quite a few great things that PhD Tony has said in this chat. Like, there's something like, "What are you?" Hint: it starts with wrong. I can't remember where that was. I also did have to say to PhD Tony, because PhD Tony said there are two types of people in the world: those who can accurately extrapolate from limited data. And I said,
that was my joke.
I said, now you're just being mean. Jason here can't even understand what's going on when he has all the data.
Yeah.
Well, there's also there's three types of people in this world: those that can count and those that can't.
Absolutely, completely agree with that. Now, Planawalk, this image that I'm showing, is that PhD Tony or is it Daniel Pratt?
To be honest, I thought it was Daniel Pratt to start with.
I mean, it's like, here's the thing: it's so easy to just make yourself look like Daniel Pratt by putting like a hoodie over yourself. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's... Yeah.
That is PhD Tony doing his best Daniel Pratt impression.
Spot on.
Pratt's broken
Hello,
into my
Phil
house.
Bell. Professor Phil Bell has joined us in the chat as well.
Who was featured on my channel today in a mirror?
Yeah. Hang on, I'm going to send him the link as well. PhD Tony, I've sent you a link if you want to join, but if you don't, that's up to you as well. Where is it? I can't find Phil.
Maybe you can tell us more about Jason's ramblings.
Phil, I've sent you a link as well if you'd like to join us, but you don't have to.
Yes, you do.
Pretty much
told.
Well, yes. Well, NASA said so. We're pretty much at the end of the show, but if a few more people come in and want to talk to us, yeah. Yes. I'll have to get that T-shirt off you, actually, Craig, at some point. I want to get the DFOTY 2019 T-shirt at some point.
Yeah. Oh, God, I'm surrounded by stupid. Help.
Yes. And you got HUGH JARSZ in the corner as well. So.
And you got me above you as well. So
I did say surrounded by stupid, yeah.
You keep looking in the wrong direction, though, Planawalk. So.
Yeah, he's over. Wait, what? No.
Oops.
I said I'm above you.
Welcome, PhD Tony.
Hello. Greetings.
Hey, Tony.
Well, hi.
You just.
Hi.
I do want Tony to. There is something that I do want Tony to say when he's able to speak.
Can you not hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. All right.
Planawalk can't know because he's just, he's a bit slow.
He's in New Zealand, They got Tuataras maintaining the treadmill for the electricity. So.
Oh, that's very, very fancy. Tuataras, my word.
You'll have to like Kiwis, but they're not very far.
I can hear PhD Tony now.
Okay, excellent.
So you're going to ask him something?
Oh yeah. So what's this about? Wait, no, Tuatara. So. I want PhD Tony to say your geometry is wrong.
Your geometry is wrong. And that's all I have to say to Jason. If he wants to behave like a 4-year-old, he can get treated like a 4-year-old. There are literally hundreds of millions of people on the earth who could explain to him why his geometry is wrong if he would just shut up long enough to learn something. But like a lot of flat earthers, that just isn't going to happen. So yeah.
You've met flat earthers, right?
I have.
So FTFE is Daniel Pratt multiplying like a single celled organism?
That's not Daniel Pratt. That's PhD Tony. It's a tribute.
It is extremely hard to tell the difference sometimes. I was astonished, and it's great that you've got Dora in the chat actually, because sort of the first time I was aware of it, because coming into this, I had no idea who Daniel Pratt was, and
you were lucky.
Yeah, and then I appeared on a. I appeared on a show, and Dora said, I had the sound down. I thought they were interviewing Daniel Pratt until I heard you speak. And that's why she's the expert on distinguishing me from Daniel Pratt. So yeah, she is the world expert. She spotted it first.
Planawalk, you have a request from Facty there, if you can see the stream.
So he wants me to say that my dick is very big.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's got plenty of room for people to sit on it.
So we're going to have a super chat from Indie, $5 super chat from Indie Tiger. Thank you very much. Right the Hand nominated himself for dumbest fleur for the year in his opinion by saying he continues to move because he eats things that are moving.
Wow.
I should read these before I read them out, but yeah.
I realized that he has like all his laws of motion. Like afterwards, I realized because listening to him makes like causes your intelligence to just drop when you listen to him. I missed that he said that things are always vibrating, and I was like, wait, doesn't that mean that things in motion will always stay in motion? That's.
You can't use logic on these people, Planawalk. What are you playing at?
Yeah, it's just shocking the levels of intellectual dishonesty that they're capable of. I just they're obviously getting something out of this, and they will dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge in order to avoid any reality sticking to them.
Well, I think I've got a clearer expression of your opinion of them, Tony.
I fucking idiot! You're a fucking idiot! You're a moron!
I knew I was going to get kicked, actually.
You don't just go for it when you know you're going to get kicked, eh?
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
I'm past the point of trying to, teach them. There is no teaching them. I'm just going to point out how stupid they are and mock them relentlessly. So people that could possibly search Flat Earth on YouTube will find me mocking them instead and realize that I don't want to be like that.
That's right. Exactly. That's the whole reason that all our channels exist, really.
Yeah, and here's the thing. We are far more entertaining than flat earthers, so it actually puts us higher in the algorithm. Like, flat earthers need to learn to be entertaining. Yeah, actually, please don't do that, because then
they're like, oh, I've got loads of videos and no one watches mine. That's because you record your stuff on a mobile phone, upload it in like 133 resolution, and then have some awful noise playing in the background. Expect everyone to go, "Oh, what a wonderful video! Congratulations! I definitely want to watch that." No,
not to mention the stupid in the video.
Yeah,
well, I think you're missing the key point. So you guys are clever and witty, right? You're funny, and flat earthers just aren't, right? I mean, there are a couple.
Not intentionally, no.
Not intentionally, no. You can get the occasional one. Rad Vlad is actually moderately entertaining to talk to. I know. I actually don't believe he is a flat earther. He's just interested in picking an argument. The weird thing is that he goes away and he develops new arguments to support his flat earth, picks another argument, and and that's more than flat earthers do. But I don't think he's really a flat earther. Like he's just doing it to sort of I don't know. He used to be a boxer. He likes sort of the cut and thrust of just being in an argument. So he just does it for shits and giggles. He's not in it seriously. But he's about the only funny flat earther I can think of. The other ones are all just really boring.
Actually, there is one really good flat earther that I just love watching, and that's Arwen.
Mm-hmm.
Really entertaining.
He's so entertaining.
Not intentionally.
That is not intentional. He is not trying to be funny. I did get called dumb by Arwen.
I've got a highlight of Arwen here. This is. It looks like he's still, but this is actually live footage. This is how interesting he is.
Yeah.
What option can I do to make you full screen? I don't know how. All right, I'll just leave it at that.
I think that Katz was right in apologizing to Arwen.
Yeah.
Like Katz had to apologize to Arwen for saying that Arwen's streams were boring, and he made an apology video and showcased some of the best moments of Arwen's stream.
Both of them
so entertaining.
I am so in awe of people who can sit through flat Earth streams because
it's hard, Tony.
Yeah, I know.
Honestly.
It's not easy.
Traumatic.
Like, yeah, the stuff you did. So you did a video recently about Riley, and you went through and you picked out a lot of stuff that Riley had done. I'm just going, wow, I could not do that because that man prattled insane nonsense.
I've made 2 videos about Riley recently, and watching so much Riley, you know, I have to kind of step away after. I'll spend like 2 or 3 hours listening, writing notes, thinking, right, how can I respond to this? But then I'm like, I get to a point where like I have to just stop for a little bit. It makes me angry, you know.
Yeah, because of course you want to argue it down and you can't. That's actually how I got into this, was watching your streams and people pulling up, you know, ridiculous arguments, and I was here like, that just makes no fucking sense whatsoever. And I'd get so frustrated by you know, I could feel my pulse. And then I'd say, bring me on.
I need to shout to this idiot. Tony, I understand that, like, when the times that you have exploded, it's the perfect embodiment of how I want to speak every time I talk to a flat earther. I just want to start with that. As soon as I start talking, I'm just like, you're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking idiot. But you have to get some kind of conversation out of them. But you just want to scream at their face at how stupid they are.
Yes.
Well, I actually wonder, FTFE, if your wife worries that you might be having an affair because you spend like 6 hours watching, or you say you spend 6 hours or whatnot watching flat Earth videos.
Yeah, she does. She's got a thing actually where she's been recording me every now and then. She'd have her phone up and I won't notice. And whenever she's got up, she's recording me because I'm on my phone, either watching a flat Earth video, replying to a comment, or arguing with a flat Earth from Facebook. And she's got probably 100 or plus clips of just her going, "What are you doing? Arguing with a flat earther?" That's my entire life. Every now and then she just he's like doing it again. I'll just record him. "What are you doing, Craig?" "I'm just arguing with a flat earther." "You just recorded me again, haven't you?"
You could probably make that like a shorts thing, you know.
I'm going. Yeah, I think that'd be good.
Just want to say good night to Second Best Bob. Thank you for the super chats and sleep well.
Thanks, Bob.
Take care.
And hello to Mr. Sensible who's joined us. Thank you.
Tony, I wanted to ask you, did you happen to catch my debate with a geocentrist?
Only portions of it, I have to admit. That was a very confused individual. You know, he was really, really weird. He had, you know, some scientific knowledge, and you would think, well, if you know that much, you should be able to go a little bit further and work out that you're wrong, right?
Yeah,
but he was
like he
unwilling
got to a certain point and then just went with an assumption about that point and then just carried on from there. But
was right,
up to that point, he was almost on the right path. But at the same time, you could tell he'd done the gleam thing of reading a few phrases around general relativity and special relativity and thinking that he could just apply that to everything. But
thought he knew something about it. Yeah,
what I found out just after the debate with him was that he calls himself Dr. Robertson Jennis because he says he's got a PhD, but he got his PhD. He paid for it from like an island in the middle of the fucking ocean, a country called Vanuatu or something. And here when I've done research on it, the place that he got it from has no authority to give out, you know, educational qualifications or anything. So he's purely lying about having a PhD. And as someone that you've worked fucking hard to have your scientific acumen and your knowledge and to get your PhD, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel quite annoyed, but really, you know, it's not a new problem. You know, Kent Hovind calls himself a doctor, right? And with much greater publicity. And there's, you know, you will find people with you will find people who have, you know, PhDs in English who will start talking about science, or people with, you know, people who are medical doctors who insist on being, you know, the fact that medical doctors are called doctors is actually an honorific. You know, it's not that they're not actually doctors. They don't have doctorates.
Yeah.
It's an
doctor that most people encounter, of course.
That's the doctor that most people encounter, and so we encountered this in US politics where somebody with a PhD was told that they weren't a real doctor.
It's actually the other way around.
Yeah, you've got that ass backwards, clown.
Yeah.
It's the medico, and the sort of medicos refer to themselves as medicos rather than doctors when they're being sort of considerate of the feelings of others. But it's a non, obviously it's annoying, but less annoying than just the nonsense they sprout that is obviously wrong. Like, forget that. Okay, they're frauds that have invested money in their fraud. Well,
with someone like Robert Eugenics, that's what it is. It's all a big fraud because he's got this movie that he created where he tricked Michio Kaku and people into being in that movie about geocentrism and stuff, and he's pumped a lot of money into this whole geocentric version of the world. The what he calls it, the neo-Taconian model, which after doing a bit of research about that is more heliocentric than the heliocentric model. It's crazy. I really want to debate him again because there's so many things that it was very much like debating a flat earther with the way that he thought, but just with a different argument. And I think I was a bit scared going into it because I'd never really looked into geocentrism that much, and my research hadn't gone much further than watching a bunch of cool hard logic videos. But as soon as he started talking, I was like, "This is just another flat earther."
Yeah, you owned him. Yeah.
Real quick, I just noticed in the chat, like Andreas Eld says, I've got a HDP, or is it? Oh, a butterfly.
Are you having an earthquake there, by the way, Planawalk? Because your camera was shaking a bit. And as it is now,
I don't know.
Yes. Okay. So it's a artificial earthquake.
Yeah. I found. I wondered if anyone would notice that because I actually found that, like, all I just have to do is put my non-cybernetic knee on my desk.
You have legs.
Yeah, and
just none of us have legs.
Move it around, and then I get an earthquake effect.
And you are in New Zealand; they have a few of them there.
Yeah,
all the hobbits running around.
I have earthquakes here, but just because I'm walking down the street. So that ended that conversation. I'm mindful that first of all, we've been going for 2 hours, and it's been fun, and it continues to be fun. But I've got to feed the corgis sometime soon, so we can go for a bit longer if you guys want to keep going. Planawalk will probably want lunch soon.
I do need to get off and start preparing for my debate in a bit, at least chasing the Flurf down because he's doing the usual "I'm scared" thing. So I'm going to have to jump off.
So we might end it there then. So you want to start, Craig, by shilling things that you need to shill?
Well, thank you. One thing I really do want to shill that I keep kind of forgetting actually is every other Monday, I turn into an uber nerd and pretend to know how to play Dungeons and Dragons on a channel called Globers and Goblins. If you haven't come along to one of those streams, it's a lot of fun with me not having a clue what I'm doing, but still having a lot of fun playing Dungeons and Dragons. Tony's character met an honorable death recently. I say honorable; it was shot and then stamped on and then decapitated. So that that happened. So every Monday on Globers and Goblins. But tomorrow at 9 p.m. I start my new game show, Stupidity Is Not a Right, and I am really excited about that. So if you want a nice chilled evening, Sunday, 9 p.m. UK time, Stupidity Is Not a Right. And
I'll be on that show probably more than once over the next few weeks, I think. So we'll see how we go.
Everyone's invited.
Yeah. All right. Planawalk, what do you got to show?
Well, I've got my Russia Stupid thing, which I'm actually FTFE, you'll be on there, right?
Yep.
And HUGH JARSZ, you'll be on there, right?
Yep.
Cool. So tomorrow after FTFE's stupidity is not a right, then we're going to have rush of stupid. So that's going to be a very, very interesting combination there. And I'm going to be on stupidity is not a right as well. And then there's the videos that I've got. So there's one on astrology and one on the perseverance or Flirth reacting to the perseverance landing. So yeah.
Just to be clear, I don't think I'm on tomorrow's, but I will be in the next few weeks. And I'm awesome. I feel it's such a fanboy moment. I love seeing that Tau City Alpha has come to join my stream. G'day, mate. How are you?
The Godfather.
Yes, he's wonderful, isn't he?
See, I knew I'd made it when I was featured in the Tau City Alpha video.
I must have made it because I've got him to come to my live stream. How about that? I've got Mr. Sensible here too. That's even better. I think he's just followed you, FTFE, anyway. So, well, I'll take any reason. And Tony, you've just dropped a video too.
Yes, I did. I dropped what I hope will be my last Flat Earth video for a while. Moving on to young Earth creationism. I think I have the skills I think I have the skills to disassemble their arguments with raw geochronology. So I'll be doing that for at least a little bit. At the moment, I think that Flat Earth is at the point where it's just recycling. You know, it's probably been here a long time. I've only come in for the last year, but I think I've deconstructed as much Flat Earth argumentation as I can. Without addressing specific Flat Earthers, if I wanted to address specific Flat Earthers making the same mistake over and over again, I could continue doing that. But I'd rather just give general videos that people can use to stomp these people down whenever they do it, rather than responding to every time they do say something stupid. So anyway, that's my path forward. And of course I'll be on the Four Beardsmen this evening, my time. There's I may be doing a video gaming channel in the near future where
nice
called Tony and Jess Will Die.
So you're not going to do better than Team Skeptic?
No, I'm a worse game player than Team Skeptic, and
That's
Team
hard to
Skeptic
imagine.
is pretty piss poor. So I'll be doing that along with Jessica G, who has her own primary gaming channel, but we're going to do a cooperative play at a game that I just suck at, and so I will be dying a lot, and other people will be laughing at me.
Entertainment for all the family.
Entertainment for all the family.
So you'll be another person that I could possibly get to play Flurfia and fail at.
Yeah, probably. Yes. Though it depends. Does it require access to Windows?
I think I can make a Linux build or something.
Right. Okay.
Sliding door will work too.
Yeah.
Yes. Calling it a joke is rather a misnomer, I think.
Yes.
Jokes are normally funny.
Yes. Well, I'm a huge ass, remember.
Yes, that's true.
I'm a dad. I've got to do dad jokes. So, so thank you very much to my guests. Really heartfelt thanks. So long. I've been waiting so long to get FTFE on this channel. So thank you very much, mate. I hope I can have you back sometime.
Yeah,
thank you to Planawalk.
Thank you for having me on.
Yep. Thank you, Planawalk. I think this is about the second time you've been on. So thank you very much. I've been on your channel plenty of times, so it's good to do the exchange. Thank you, Tony. You're always on my channel, and I love it every time. Thank you very much. Thanks to everyone in the chat who have come along. Thank you to I think we got up to nearly 90 people, which is awesome for me.
Woo!
So I'm normally around the 60 mark, and 60 is a good day, I consider. So thank you very much to everyone who showed up. Thank you to all my new members. I'm very, very grateful to you, and thank you to all those who gave me super chats tonight. And I'm also grateful to you. Hopefully we can put that money to good use, and we'll get some good videos, in the future, in addition to the ones that I do already. So I think the corgi's warming up, so I'll just get that set up. All right, Fang. I think you can go.
There's nothing left to do but cue the corgi.
Are we off here?
Not
FTFE.
yet, no.
You off?
Huge JARSZ.
We off?